Greetings, duelists, and welcome to another video. So, today's topic is going to be a little bit different from what we're used to in this channel. Today, we're going to revisit the Forbidden Limited list. This is the second day since the list has become legal for the TCG. And not only is that the case, we also know all the cards in Doom of Dimensions, as well as all the rarities that involve this set. And I kind of want to talk about it because this is a trend that we've noticed in history, like Yu-Gi-Oh history. It's not always been done like as blatant and as obvious as we had on this list, but it's something that Konami of the TCG has done for numerous years, and some people like the approach, some people actually dislike this approach a lot. I'm more on the fence of it is a little bit sad that some cards are dictated the way that Konami dictates them for a specific means to an end. Just understand what I am talking about by the half portion of this video. But yeah, let's stare at the limited cards. We're not gonna talk about the forbidden cards on this list. Like these cards being forbidden does not benefit any future set as a whole. But let's look at the limiteds, right? So we got YGO, Dormouse, Rosin, Lacrima. Let's pause here to Linkuriboh. Linkuriboh came back from the for the forbidden list, and you can make the argument that Linkuriboh could have came back through 2 sets ago, when original Sinful Spoil Snake Eyes got forbidden in the December 2024 list. That was pretty much the end for the reign of Snake Eyes, and which means that Linkuriboh really had no business just staying on the list. Now, let's look at this. This is a Yummy list from a Chinese City tournament. This was held around 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and it had almost 500 players. If you look at this list, did you notice something particular here? Yeah, Linkuriboh is on this list. So if we go back to Linkuriboh, it's pretty obvious that they brought back Linkuriboh to support Yummy. They compensated that by also limiting Herald of the Arclight. But again, let's go into this list. This list was already playing 1 copy of Herald of Arclight. So Herald of Arclight being limited is not a real big change for Yummy. If anything, it is a blessing in disguise. It is really good for those decks that are weak to Herald. But Herald being at 1 is just as strong as Herald being at 3. Now, Zoodiac Trident came back for the Forbidden list. We'll talk about Zoodiac Trident in a little bit. But then you have like Crystal Inclusion, Obedience School, Sticker Soul, Soul and Judgment. Like all these cards are just there to just like lower the ceiling of K9 decks. Now let's talk about Branded Fusion. Why is Branded Fusion back to 2? Some people are inclined to believe that it has to do with Dual Chronicles, and with Dual Chronicles just being supported like in the anime, like and the branded theme already being confirmed to get a structure deck. But if I'm not mistaken, I'll check after the stream. I'll check after the video. Branded Fusion is still limited in the OCG. It's semi-limited in Master Duel, though. Now, let's talk about the real reason Branded Fusion came back. If you remember the video I made talking about Frixel a while back, I talked about how Frixel was a really good catalyst for Draco Tail if you played it alongside other engines. The best engine that can use Draco Tail Frixel is the branded engine. Frixel, being a light spellcaster, means that she can be used as a material for Albion, the branded dragon, as well as Albion, the Sanctifier dragon. Now, it's really funny the timing behind the branded fusion coming back to 2, because yes, Duel Chronicles is happening right now, but that is an OCG project. Like, I mean, there is no English dub of the Duel Chronicles series still happening at the moment. It's not something that was shown in Master Duel Worlds, like, for example, and we still don't even know when the branded structure deck is coming in the OCG, so it's still ways away until we get it in the TCG. So it's kind of obvious they did this to support Draco Tail. Draco Tail was the least supported theme in Justice Hunters, and this pretty much just gives an incentive to those who want to play the branded engine. Now, let's go to the Unlimiteds. So, let's start with Global. I don't have a deck list made. Shoutouts to Super Nix. This is from Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. This is the Rose Garden theme that is getting support in Doom of Dimensions. Basically, it is a retrain of Akisa's cards. We're also even getting an alternate art for Garden Rose Maiden. And one card that is very favorable for this deck is Glow Bulb. Glow Bulb could have came back from the list a long time ago. This card is not problematic for the game at all. The moment Crystal Hulky Fibrax left the TCG in 2022, it was around the time you could have brought back Glow Bulb. Although you can make the argument that it would have been too strong for 2 elements back when Chaotic Ruler was around. But yeah, the Glow Bulb mainly came back because of the Garden Rose theme. Like, there's no surprise there. Masterpiece and Diagram. So, True Draco is getting more support cards in Doom of Dimensions. This theme has not been good in a long time. And the return of Masterpiece alongside Diagram to Unlimited status just supports the sales for True Draco for those who would be inclined and interested for True Dracos. True Draco deck profile coming soon. I already have that ready for you guys. And it's actually not a bad deck. It's actually very decent. But again, like, this just goes back to Doom of Dimensions. Like, if they want this set to be sold in a good volume, they kind of have to do something about, like, Diagram and Masterpiece, because who's gonna get the two Draco cards if these cards are limited, right? Okay, I guess the last thing we can talk about is Zoodiac Barrage, and this goes back to Zoodiac Trident being limited as well. So, if you look at the screen, this is Zoodiac Tri-brigade. I think this is the version from 2021 or early 2022. I think it was 2021. This deck is the reason Barrage went back to Forbidden alongside Zoodiac Trident. Back then, this theme was very strong for its time, and not many decks were doing so great in comparison. So they kind of needed to tone down the power level without hitting the actual Tri-brigade cards. And that's where Zoodiac Barrage and Trident ended up Forbidden. If you look at Doom of Dimensions, we are getting more Tri-brigade support. And not only that, like, the Tri-brigade support that we're getting is actually pretty good. Like, Mauser and not much the spell card, but Mauser is a really good card for the Tri-brigade. And that kind of tells you that they want you to play Tri-brigade, at least to some extent. The best version of Tri-brigade and the engine that abused it the most was the Zoodiac version. The other version was the Lyrilisk version, which you can say is already power crept. So the return of Barrage, as well as the return for Trident, it's just a means to an end for Tri-brigade. Now, let's talk about Doom of Dimensions as a whole. Doom of Dimensions is not a great set. You could make the argument that this set is actually as bad as Duelist Advance and Alliance Insight. And that's a lot to say because Duelist Advance was not a good set, in my opinion. Alliance Insight was a really good set for its time. Like, but yeah, a lot of people are probably already aware of this, but I kind of just wanted to like steer the nest and like bring it up to people's attention. Sometimes forbidden and limited lists happen with a hidden agenda. And the hidden agenda from Doom of Dimensions, it's no exception here. Like, and sometimes that's very sad to see because there might be some cards that are in the forbidden list that we could have gotten back and would have been favorable coming back, like in a long time ago, as well as OCG imports that we also could have gotten. That has been stuck in the OCG for years, and sometimes these sets and them making sales kind of dictates what are the future for some of these cards. Am I glad that Zoodiac Trident and Barrage are back? Yes, I am. Am I glad that True Draco is now playable again? I am also glad that it's playable again. But I would have been happier if they would have brought back those cards like in a way less sooner. Also, let's talk about Snake Eyes for a second. Isn't it funny that Ash and Poplar are back at 3 while they're still limited in the OCG? Obviously, Original Simple Spell Snake Eyes has to do with that, but hear me out. What if that was their hidden agenda to make people be more inclined to try out Jummy? Yeah, think about that for a little bit. But that's it from me. I hope you found this video informative to your liking and understanding, and more videos coming soon. Welcome to Doom of Dimensions format. Keep practicing and keep dueling.